John Saunders, one of the familiar on-air faces on ESPN for nearly 30 years, has died. Saunders covered college football, basketball, and the NHL for the network, in addition to hosting SportsCenter and most recently, the Sports Reporters. He was born in Canada. Saunders was an all-star defensiveman in junior hockey leagues of Montreal before becoming one of the most prominent broadcasters of his time. He was also a founding board member of the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research, named for his longtime college basketball partner. Saunders was 61. Stephen A., obviously we just heard this news, and I know clearly you're very emotional and close to him. I want to say I'm sorry, and how will you remember John?
I can't, he was a big brother. He's a father figure. I'm sitting here in shock. We just got the news. Thank you. We just got the news. He went to the NABJ last week. I couldn't make it because we were on the road for First Take. I was supposed to see him. We're going to hook up for dinner in a couple of weeks. He had health issues from years ago. Had a bad accident as well, bad fall. He was recuperating throughout the years. Health ebbed and flowed. But somehow, some way, he always had the strength to give guys like myself the level of guidance, that big brother that we all needed. We talk a lot about great individuals that have worked at this company, especially my man Stuart Scott, who I still miss to this day. But I always called John Saunders the Godfather because he was one of the originals. When you think about ESPN, so many times we think about Chris Berman and we think about Dick Vitale as well as we should. Bob Lee, I call individuals like that the institution. Tom Jackson as well. But John Saunders was one of those guys. We worked together on NBA Countdown years ago. We always kept in touch. He always was a mentor and an advisor. He meant so much to me. I'm so incredibly sorry for his family right now and his loved ones. I really don't know what to say. I'm not used to being in this position. Usually you have some time to reflect and things of that nature. I just got the news a couple minutes ago. I'm shocked. I can't believe it. I know how much he loved the Sports Reporters, being a part of that show. I know how much he loved being a part of the V Foundation and its fight against cancer. I know how much he loved working for this network, this company, Walt Disney, ABC. I don't think anybody truly realizes what we lost today. He was a phenomenal, phenomenal man. He was a father figure. He was a big brother. He was a mentor. He was an advisor. He was somebody that had been in this business for 40 years. He adamantly believed in being a pioneer and paving the way for individuals like myself and so many others, keeping this company's eyes on the prize as it pertained to giving African Americans opportunities in this business and at this company. Stuart Scott might not be here if it were not for John Saunders. Might not have been here had it not been for John Saunders. It's just a devastating loss, and I'm gonna miss my brother. I'm gonna miss him a lot.
He's such a class act, and he's a staple. And I know, like you, Max, I started at ESPN right out of college at 22. And one of the first shows I ever worked on was College Football Live. And John Saunders was the guy. He was hosting it. And, you know, you're a nervous wreck. You're starting out. And obviously, he's one of the top talent, the big shot. And just in terms of how he ingratiated me, welcomed me, giving me feedback, he didn't need to do that type of thing, and just showing his character. And then when I left here and went to CBS in New York, I worked with his daughter, Aaliyah. And I just know the relationship, how much he adored his daughters and how much Aaliyah and his sister absolutely adored him. My heart is breaking for them and, you know, for the entire family. And she has a very bright future also in this industry. And, of course, just, yeah, class act in my own personal interactions with him is he went out of his way for no, you know, when he wasn't getting anything out of it, and those kind of people that really make the difference for us along the way. And it breaks my heart to Stephen A. see you so upset as well, but we lost a legend. We lost a great one in the media industry.
I didn't have that kind of interaction or relationship with him, just in passing through the years. He's the kind of guy that makes this a great place to work. A lot of good people here, and he was one of them. I know you got emotional as soon as it happened, and Stephen A. has kind of been a mess, you know, and been holding it together on the air in the last segment. And that's a tribute, I think, to the kind of man he... It's always strange to refer to someone in the past tense when they just passed, but the kind of man he was, that that he has this kind of an emotional impact on, and left that kind of impression on the people with whom he was close. And by the way, a terrific broadcaster.
Of course,
which, you know,
one of the great ones on and off the air.
Yeah.
He could do anything.
No, everything.
He could do anything.
Any sport.
Everything.
Yep.
He loved hockey. You know, he was a proud Canadian.
Yes.
You know, always tried to get me to talk about hockey. Every chance he got, you know, actually I told him there's no chance in hell I can't pull it off. But he was just that guy, and we lost somebody special.
We did, a great one, and I'm sorry, Stephen A. John Skipper, president of ESPN, co-chairman of Disney Media Networks, had a statement. I'll share that with you. John was an extraordinary talent, and his friendly, informative style has been a warm welcome to sports fans for decades. His wide range of accomplishments across numerous sports and championship events is among the most impressive this industry has ever seen. More importantly, John was a beloved and devoted family man who cared deeply about people and causes, as evidenced by his long-standing efforts as a passionate board member for the V Foundation for Cancer Research. He was one of the most significant and influential members of the ESPN family as a colleague and mentor, and he will be sorely missed. Our thoughts are with his loved ones at this extremely difficult time. John Saunders has passed at the age of 61.